Welcome back to The Great Expanse by John Bat 426 here on YouTube. It is always a pleasure to record these videos, to edit them, put my unique spin on them for your listening pleasure, for your viewing pleasure. And you've already clicked on the thumbnail. You've already clicked on the thumbnail. You know what the video is about. Invincible has returned. The second part of the second season. We ended at episode 4, and we are resuming with episode 5. I apologize for the lateness of the videos. We've all been very busy. I didn't want to do any Invincible videos without
me. No, I'm joking. Majesty Mxnt, Sibby Season, Sim Duncan, Sim Kardashian, Sim Burton, Iceberg Sim,
Sim Dog Millionaire.
Sim Dog Millionaire. You know, all those guys.
Right, so
because I'm them.
Since they are him and he is them, I didn't want to do any Invincible reactions without the triad. And also,
I'm just Kelly, the mother.
Big little sis, Kelly, and this person who you may not recognize because he's never been disclosed before.
So it's the man, Sauce Boy 6 billion. You will never know who I am.
Right.
You'll know who he is one day, just not today.
One day he'll be unmasked. But not here. Not in the future. But anyway, the name of the episode was It'll Appear Here. I don't remember what it is right now. But it is episode 5.
Yeah, I guess shit, I don't remember.
Oh, no. It's called This May Come As a Shock. That's what it was called.
Oh.
It was
This
a
may
shocker.
come as a shock. And
It still has to appear there.
Invincible, as we've always said, they just get right into it. It's like, first they sort of like butter you up with, oh, this is touching, oh, this happened. And when the action hits, they don't pull their punches. Sauce Boy do they?
They're pulling spines, not punches.
Yeah.
And brains.
And remember, when we do these reviews, there's really no order to it. It's just, the conversation's just organic. So whatever direction it goes, that's the direction we go in. The Guardians of the Globe got slaughtered.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Okay?
Oh my. Those final 10 minutes was the craziest massacres I've seen in a minute.
And if you thought like the original Guardians of the Globe got slaughtered by Omni-Man, the Lizard League, the sort of Image Comics version of the Serpent Society from Marvel Comics, they were kind of a joke in the beginning of this season. And if you ever watched the Adam Eve special, like they were like fighting the original Guardians of the Globe. Did you ever see that? The Adam Eve special? You saw that?
Yeah, I saw
Sauce
that.
Boy. No, you're not
seen
Sauce
it.
Boy. You're Sim and all those names. But they were kind of a joke. But this one, Duplicate was being splattered. She was being dismembered.
Yeah.
She was being rendered limb from limb, as Adam West said in the old Batman movie.
Physically.
Exactly. Even Shrinking Ray, the female version of either Ant-Man or Adam, whatever you want to say. Even she looked like she bought the farm. And it ended, well, their sequence ended with, I guess, King Lizard, or whatever his name is.
Yeah,
He had the gun to the back of Rexplode's head. First of all, Rexplode got ripped a couple of times.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know any of the names of the Lizard League members, but she scratched him a few times. And then the big boy,
His arm off.
bit his hand off.
And
But Rex charged his hand and it blew the guy's head off. So I can tell you, it went right back into the gore department.
personally, I think Ray still had the worst death. Like, that was a terrible way to go out.
Yeah.
She got crushed after being eaten. That was a terrible way to go.
It would have been better if she had just like got big enough just to choke him.
She can only shrink. She can't.
But
No.
he would have never been able to kill her if she hadn't gotten but so big. Like she was trying to get big, but because he was so strong, he crushed her when she was trying to get big again. All she had to do was cut off his esophagus. He'd have choked out.
Right, but she still wouldn't have made it out though.
She would have made it out.
No, he was too dense. Like she couldn't get through his like.
Yeah, his actual skin is like a thick eye.
Because like when she was getting big, he's like.
I think
flexing.
what Miss Kelly's point is that she could have choked him out, then re-shrunk herself and came out of his mouth.
Exactly.
Oh.
That actually probably would have worked if she would have blocked the airway within his. Yeah, she didn't think that went through.
No.
Bro, life or death situation, you're in somebody's mouth.
Yeah,
You know what I mean,
that's all.
we're saying that from the safety of our couches.
Exactly.
So
Or she could have just ripped up his insides and not gotten big.
she might not have harmed them though.
If
might
she
not have done any
pulled on
damage
his
to it.
vital organs,
She couldn't bust out of his throat, so his.
But
his
that's
throat,
not. That's
She didn't
not.
even try to bust out his throat though.
She tried to get big.
inside of his larynx.
Right, but okay. So the way choking works is you get something just big enough to block off the air that goes in and out.
Mm-hmm.
All she had to do is get big enough to block off his air. He'd have choked out.
Right.
Then she could have shrunk small again and crawled on out.
Okay, maybe this isn't a good example, but okay, how long can the Incredible Hulk hold his breath?
Hasn't he like just casually jumped through space before?
Yeah, he did that.
How long do you think Superman can hold his breath?
I'm pretty sure he can breathe in space.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so now this guy is obviously a super powered, like, strength guy. Like, how long do you think he can probably hold his breath? Because he can choke up his airway. He's like, all right, I'll just hold my breath.
Right, but see, but again, this is ignoring the heat of the moment stuff.
All right.
Like, if she did just stay in his airway, if say he tried to choke himself to crush her, she can just react by, shrinking herself so she doesn't actually get hurt, but
Right.
he still just ends up choking himself. But again, that's a lot of quick thinking that has to be done in the moment.
Right. But you have to think about it as if, according to the, as you can say, the mythology of the episode,
Mm-hmm.
if he's strong, his throat muscles can probably push her all the way down to his stomach.
That's true. That's also
Because remember, she couldn't eat. Like, remember, she got big right up here, though.
Y'all have no concept of choking.
Okay, help us to explain. Okay, if he can hold his breath for about 30 minutes, how will choke his airway?
You just stay in his airway for 30 minutes. Either he's going to cough her up, or he, like Saucy here said, he's going to choke himself.
censor that.
And if she chokes, and if he's choking himself, then she could have gone down into his stomach. When he dies, come back out.
Well, theoretically, you can't literally choke yourself, bro.
This is true.
Which is why I said just react to the pressure he exerts, shrink down to avoid that pressure all going on yourself,
Right.
and then re-expand
When
as he tries to let go.
There you go. Still
Like
I said,
choking you.
Of course, ignoring heat of the moment, that takes a lot of time and precision.
True.
Right, but I'm
All
trying to
right,
think
let's
outside
not
the
get
box.
stuck on this one.
I'm just trying to think outside the box. 'Cause
There's too
the
much.
whole,
There's too
the
much
whole
going
episode,
on
the
in
Yeah,
whole
this
mythology is
episode
all-
to get stuck.
See, this is how you know this episode was crazy.
Right.
This is one scene.
We haven't even touched the good
Yeah.
stuff yet.
This is one scene in the whole episode.
All right, so Sim Dog, Sim Hardaway, Sim Burton. Why don't you let
The
us know
Simmy of
how
many
the,
names.
how the episode started off?
Well, the episode started off pretty nice, happy-go-lucky. My man Mark, he was just, well, not necessarily. I mean, okay. Yeah, pretty much it started off with, Mark, bleeding out, like he normally does in every episode. You know what I'm saying? Like, trying to, crawl his way towards the city, the civilization of the ant bug alien people. Thraxons, right. I couldn't think of their name. But anyway.
That's what you got us here for.
So, he's crawling to the Thraxons and whatnot. Eventually they come, they see him, they get him, they pick him up. What
They
do?
bandage him.
They bandage him. Boom, he makes a speedy recovery. He puts on a nice little skirt with a little Roman shirt and all that good stuff.
Yeah, you look at Roman
He
Garden.
puts all that on, and he's helping to put the Thraxon city back together piece by piece. You know what I'm saying? It starts off pretty good.
Right, because once again, he blames himself. As
For
always.
his father's actions.
Yeah, he blames himself for his father's actions.
He is
That's
his father's
obviously
son,
not his fault.
but he is not his father.
But then he's told by one of the Thraxons, I think the queen, pretty much, of the Thraxon planet,
Who is his
stepmom.
stepmother?
who is his stepmom, who said that in there, to go back to Earth, but also to take his little brother with him. Of course, upon him hearing this, he doesn't think he can do it, but, she does a whole song and dance for him.
Well, that's because she's going to die before.
She's gonna
Right.
die.
The little-
She explains
before
this.
he grows
She
up.
explains that she's gonna die.
Because it makes
Process.
perfect sense, like when she's talking.
Yeah, when she explains it, she explains that she's gonna die out a lot faster than he will.
Because the Thraxons have like a short
They
lifespan.
have a very, very short lifespan, that of a bug,
Right.
So, she's gonna die faster than he will. So she just needs somebody to look after him. And she's like, who better to do that? Because who else is gonna do that than you, Mark? And he was like, well, okay, I guess. He takes him back. He takes his baby brother back to the crib. He gets his mom, or tries to, well, not tries to, but convinces his mom to take care of her son's
Nothing
brother.
to her.
Nothing to
Yeah,
her.
no relation.
Her son's brother. Yeah, that's how it
That would
starts.
technically be her stepson.
I was thinking that. Like,
That's a stepson.
Stepson. That would be
But
her
it
stepson.
has nothing to do with her though.
No.
That's the thing.
I mean, they
There's
still,
no relation.
Yes, it
between
is
them.
stepson because Nolan was her husband.
yeah, they still married. They never annulled their marriage.
But he died, so that ended the marriage
Yeah, he did.
officially.
Did he really die?
He has a gravestone, so officially Nolan is.
Well, legally speaking.
Nolan
yeah.
Grayson. I'm sorry, I said Nolan.
Yeah, so.
Okay.
Right, and I don't remember her name again. Remember, it's not like but it's like, what's her name?
I don't remember.
Andrella or something.
Andressa.
Andressa, right. And she was just giving examples. She said, before he learns to talk, I'll be dead.
Right.
And she said generations will pass,
Before you
and before he's, what is it? He said it was something. She said, but generations will pass, and she said
everybody will be dead.
that he knows.
That he knows.
Right. So it's wow.
Yeah.
And so he told his mom, he told Debbie, he's like, all right, I'll just drop out of school because he has to be taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Even though he's going to age faster than a human child.
right, but not as fast as a built man.
Right.
So they said in between.
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever.
He is literally right in the middle.
So, all right, let me ask you a question. Do you think Mark threw out the college line so that his mother could actually volunteer to take care of the kid?
No.
No, I think he was
I,
sincere.
th- I think he was very serious about that.
I think he was sincere that he would drop out of college, but I think he knows his mom would not want him to drop out of college.
But he was still willing to make the sacrifice.
Right. I'm not saying he wouldn't be willing to do it, but you know how kids do it with parents.
I mean,
Like, all right, I guess I'll just have to drop out of college.
Nudge.
Because remember, he said I'm already 2 months behind.
Yeah.
Anyway, right. But he was just laying out
I mean,
the facts.
he was just making. I think, it was
Laying out what it was.
I don't
It
think
is what it is. He was 2 months.
Sir,
behind.
you're running out of it is what it
So
is.
he was trying to do a guilt trip or anything. He was just
No.
like, listen, this, that, the other thing.
I'm
Yeah,
getting
he's 2 months behind.
Boom.
You know what I'm saying?
So there's the fact of Debbie saying she'll take care of the kid with no name. All right, because he doesn't have a name. Because as Big Little Sis reminded us, they allow, on the Thraxon's planet, they allow the children to come up with their own names. Okay. So then, as Lamont said, it continued on with kind of a happy-go-lucky feel. They show Mark returning to school. His roommate was there, and William is always like a comical character. He's always making sure he's always keeping Mark honest about stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's like, well, yeah, I've been started locking the windows since that dog came and kidnapped you, or whatever. And then they show him reunite with Amber or whatever. Then things just go because first of all, when Mark was gone, the Guardians of the Globe and a whole bunch of other heroes had to fight Omnipotus, and he's like, beware my unlimited power. And then Immortal was like,
Makes
No.
it tremble before.
yeah, tremble before my unlimited power. And Immortal's like,
No.
no. It's like no big speech from me. So we really don't know what happened with Omnipotus either.
Yeah, to be
Even
honest.
though we'll assume he was.
Defeated because
Yeah,
I'll assume they cracked him. I'll
They had
assume
to
that's what happened.
Right.
But
So Cecil informs Invincible and I think the Guardians of the Globe that there is a warship coming from Mars. All right, you want to hit us up from there, Sauce Boy?
So, there's a warship coming from Mars because our friendly neighborhood, what's his name?
Mars.
Shapesmith. He finally drops the bomb that everybody already knew, that he was a Martian.
Well, Black Samson didn't know it.
Well, yeah, everybody
No,
except
Black
Samson.
Samson didn't know everybody else knew.
Yeah.
No, he didn't know before he saw him transform.
Oh, okay.
But everybody else already knew. Something was off about Shapesmith. Maybe some of them just weren't sure what. But he drops the bottle rocket that he's a Martian. And he explains the whole process of him being sent back to Earth, or him finding his way to Earth, almost in a way that makes it think like he doesn't understand the question of how did you get here.
But he took it literally. He said, "Well, my parents." He said, "I was born a Martian baby." Right.
Like he
born a
started from his
Martian
birth,
baby.
but then quickly got into what he was trying to escape from, because there's these little parasite things that they keep as pets because they can't. Yes, sequids. And you would think, oh, well, if they're parasites, why would they?
Servants. I thought you said it was servants.
Servants, pets. I don't think it makes much of a difference. You know, it's like, why would you keep something that you literally call a parasite as a pet? Well, because they're harmless to them. They can't do anything to the Martians. They can't pierce their skin.
Right.
So, what happens when you bring a race of, say, I don't know, soft, squishy humans who can have their skin pierced by these sequids? Well, one of them takes over a human, and he calls the rest of his fellows to create a giant, fleshy Sandman, essentially.
Yeah.
So now he has a warship of Mars, a bunch of Martians enslaved simply due to the sheer massive numbers that the sequids have. Like, they have no other relevance or powers other than the fact that there's just so many of them. Like, it's just a horde.
Power numbers.
Yeah, but it was like a content. What's the word? There was like a contingent of Martians on that ship that didn't know the sequids were on there though.
Yeah.
So I'm like, how did all those sequids get on the ship without the Martians knowing about it?
Yeah.
I thought the Martians knew, because as soon as the
Bulletproof punch one of them.
he said now the rest of them will know that you're here.
Yeah, he did say that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which I think
So they know.
maybe Bulletproof was supposed to be the dumb guy, because Mxnt definitely did say that they were a hive mind species.
Right.
So
Not to mention when they got on it, when Mxnt, when all the Guardians arrived on the ship, and Mxnt was like, "Hello, my fellow Martians." They was like, "You're the one who did this."
But
they
this
knew.
is my thing. How did the Hive take over this ship? Because they
there's
obviously,
so many of them.
but they weren't flying the ship. And
Yeah,
why?
they needed the Martians to control
How
the
you-
ship.
Right.
How
They said
you
they
gonna
can't.
make
They
it?
said they can't pilot a ship. Didn't they say something along those lines?
He said they needed Martians
There's a-
that pilot the ship.
Okay,
However,
so
But they can't affect Martians though.
Yeah, they
right,
can't
so they
affect
can't
Martians.
make them
Right.
fly the ship.
Right.
Yes, but when you already have one person under control, all you need is that one person to gather the rest of the army.
And
So now they have a host, and now they have one person who's controlling the millions of sequids that's now controlling the ship. And that's a whole bunch. Sure, they may not be able to pierce the Martians, but the sheer massive, it's like getting hit by a tidal wave. You can't really
so when he
approach
took
them.
the Martians on the ship with him, I'm still trying to figure
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
how he's making them fly the ship. Because I was
okay.
like, no, I'm
Okay,
not doing
all
it.
right,
Because they
so-
can't harm them.
So maybe
They
it
can't
was
pierce their skin.
So
not they
you
can't
can't
harm
make
them.
me do anything.
You
Right.
can still kill me though.
right,
Wow.
but they can't fly.
It's
they
like
can't fly
a
the
tidal
ship.
wave.
The human that they took over can't fly the ship,
Yes.
and the sequids don't have the information that the Martians have.
Right.
So the only way that ship can move is if there are Martians piloting it.
Yes.
So obviously they
just
needed the
say
Martians.
no.
So again, I'm a little befuddled. It's like, how did he get millions of the sequids onto the ship in the first place?
Probably
Unless they were in
because-
hiding or something, I guess.
Probably because the Martians don't see them as a threat to the point where they completely would ignore them.
No. They
Forming together.
definitely see them as a threat if there are humans involved.
Yes, but they didn't know the humans were there.
Well, remember, so there's one human. Right?
Yes, and remember, Mxnt said he took the one human's place,
Right.
and he said, "I hoped that my Martians would find him and maybe kill him
Right.
before the sequids," which
Right.
didn't happen.
Right, because it still doesn't make sense though, like why that ship is on its way to Earth and it's a warship.
Right. Yeah.
That
It
is
still
probably a
doesn't
question
explain it.
we will get answered some other time,
Okay.
unless
So
it was just the sequids.
right, so we knew from the first season that the sequids were going to be a problem
Mm-hmm.
because we saw the one guy, the one guy was just standing there, just like this whole curtain of sequids. Remember they came over his body. I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
this is-
That was bad.
So they're on their way to Earth. So there are a lot of threats in this season. We still haven't seen Angstrom's levy yet. Nope.
Another guy with a massive brain.
Yeah, the brain head. Oh, really?
It's like too many threats. It's almost overwhelming.
But it makes sense though, because you need your heroes, like you need them against the wall.
Yeah.
Like I've
They're
always,
dying.
Well, that's
as we
just
saw
part
the
of
Guardians of the Globe, people are being splattered
He
and
is
swallowed.
spanked,
Pause.
man. He putting belts behind these guys.
Right. I mean, they're like getting a switch off the tree in the backyard. for Mama.
Yeah, spanked.
Or Big Mama.
Yeah,
And-
all of them.
Yeah,
They
they
get
removed
cooked
all the
and
leaves
fried.
and the buds from the twigs.
It's
Honestly,
almost like Rogue One.
honestly, Mark gotta like start tapping into that speed that Nolan was using to nuke a whole planet.
Oh.
Yeah, he should.
Well, we don't. He don't have that power yet, but like,
He
But
needs to start
remember-
working on it.
right? But see, he's afraid to tap into that power though,
That's
as well, because he doesn't want to like
hurt the
retrace the
program.
steps of his father. And as we saw, like on the recap, it says, "I don't kill people."
Yeah, but it makes
what I mean?
him it makes him weak, even though he's strong.
Okay, Nolan was blowing up a planet by flying too fast.
Yeah.
Okay, we don't want that.
Exactly.
But,
Which
but,
is- which
but
is
if he
why
can
Mark
harness
wants
that power to limit it to just killing things that need to be destroyed, like fly around the ship, fly around the earth, kill
like
them all.
well, the first thing the Sequid leader said when he saw him, he's like, we can't hurt
get-
you.
Right,
Right.
he sure
That's
did.
the first thing he said.
So they didn't even, they was like, we will push him to next.
Like,
He said, we'll find a way to deal with you later.
All right, so I guess they were just like dormant and kind of like just like laying low.
Yeah.
Because they appear to be very intelligent. It's just they have to wait for the right time.
Okay, and
Talking about the separate?
so I guess
Had to
the,
wait for the right host.
Yes.
all right, because when they got on the ship, it was a select few.
Mhm.
I think Bulletproof. Was Black Samson on that group?
Yeah.
Black
Yeah.
Samson, Adam Eve, Invincible,
And
Fucking
the robot.
Rudy
and Rudy.
and Monster Girl.
And Monster Girl, right? Because all these like millions of sequels just came out of like nowhere.
Tidal wave.
Yeah, it was like a tsunami of these sequels.
That would be more
And so like they were just like overwhelming them with like sheer force. And so like Adam Eve like had like this.
But what
energy
about the
bubble.
stupid Martian not telling them about the defense system of the Martian ship and their spaceship getting blown up
But that was before
they
the
even
ship.
got to
Wait.
the ship?
Before they even got to the ship, yes. Smith failed to inform the entire group about the fact that the Martian ship could easily obliterate their ship in a matter of like 2 milliseconds.
Right, he was like,
Simply off the
That
principle
would
of
be
you
giving
didn't
away. That
ask.
would be giving away military secrets. Really?
Like simply off the principle of you didn't ask, so I won't answer.
Yeah,
Well,
don't
that
ask,
goes
don't
back to-
tell.
That goes back to you know when people are just so like it's almost like Drax from like Guardians of the Galaxy. It's like they don't know anything about gray. All they know is
Yeah.
black and white.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say, it's like, because he's a Martian or just a being from a different planet, they don't really think the same as like we would, or anybody from Earth. They
Well, what in
operate
the world was their plan? Because it seemed like they didn't have one.
Ooh.
I mean, it was
When the Guardians or who? What do they call it? Are they
Guardians.
the
Guardians of the Globe.
Guardians
When they
of
got
the
into the
Globe?
ship?
Yeah, like it's like.
Well,
it seemed
they
like
were
didn't
trying to
have
form a plan, and then Bulletproof's dumbass punched one of the Sequids and alerted the entire colony.
right, but like you said though, why would you go to like ground zero then form a plan?
Yeah.
You should have a plan before you get to ground zero.
I think they did have a plan that was sort of in the making because they asked Eve to show up. That was part of why they asked Eve to show up.
But what was the plan?
They didn't
Right.
get through to it because Bulletproof decided to alert the entire horde.
Long story
It's like
short,
Left 4 Dead. You
it would've-
alerted the horde.
It would have been smart to have a plan before they got there.
To have a better
Exactly.
plan. Or faster, more
Where's
faster.
Batman
But
when he
then
did
but like before, the Martian didn't tell them that they were going to have their ship blown up before they even got on the ship too.
Right.
But the fact that they made it onto the ship without being detected, yeah, they should have had Plan B. Okay, we get on the or Plan A. We get on the ship, and then what do we do?
I'd have like this. Let's open communications with the Martians. Let them know that there are millions of seconds on the ship. Give them time to get to an escape hatch, and we're going to nuke this ship.
Yeah.
That was my thing. I was like, just blow the daggone ship up.
That would have been a smart
Well,
plan.
shit.
But anyway, like,
Assuming the nukes work.
so Adam Eve was like, I always loved Adam Eve. Like I've never seen like an episode where she was just a waste. Like Adam Eve was like one of my favorite characters in this. So her like energy bubble was like slowly, wilting. You know what I mean? Because of the sheer numbers. Like remember the scene where you just see like a wave of pink. You just see like just a little bit of glimmers of her like.
Yeah, her shit was literally like cracking apart.
So
yeah, it did start to crack.
So again, while the Guardians of the Globe on Earth are being decimated by the Lizard League, the Guardians of the Globe, Adam, Eve, and Invincible in space, the episode ends with like a flood of the second was like just about to hit them, and then it like goes to the credits. I'm like, you can't end it that way.
And
they didn't.
Right. And then we don't know what's gonna happen with Rex because it looked like the guy was like slowly pulling the trigger.
Okay.
So, and it looked like the last duplicate got
She
destroyed.
got bodied. She did.
Yep.
She got both of her. She got
Both
her
her-
original
She got
self
bodied
and
by
her
her
duplicate
And her last
clapped
duplicate.
into each other.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why not just leave a clone at home? Like, I don't.
That'd been smart. That would have saved her, right?
It definitely would have.
I mean, with that logic, I'm like, okay, I'm leaving at least 50 just wandering around the world to live their own lives until I need them.
She should have made 2 more. She only made 1. That was her mistake. She should have made like 2 or 3.
Every time she's made one, it looks like she can only do like 1 at a time.
But see, that makes sense though, because I don't like OP like characters. It's like it makes sense that like only one can come out like. I mean, they come out fast because there's like one, then one, like that is
And then
fast.
zoom, 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 zoom.
But like the Lizard League boy was just bodying all of the duplicates.
Yeah.
Well, the duplicate. Of
I mean,
duplicate.
But he was buying them still one at a time.
No,
She
one time she transformed into 2, and he grabbed both of them. It was like splat.
I mean, it's not hard to do because she's just like
She's
a normal
human.
human. She just can duplicate.
Right, but she was like, I remember she was she punching him or
She
somebody
was
else?
punching
And I was
him.
like,
Yeah.
I was like, wait,
She had one
hurting him?
arm, she had one leg. She drew blood when she hit him.
Yeah.
So
But it's just that he.
I guess I never put it together that she had like super strength, which
A little bit,
is kind of cool. I know one thing, like I'm not like somebody that likes to see his heroes die, but I like to see my heroes in mortal danger.
Yeah.
Like I like the fact that the Lizard League wasn't just cannon fodder. That's one thing I really liked about Days of Future Past. I was like, wait a minute, the X-Men are dying twice. They're dying twice.
Mm-hmm.
They died in the beginning when they first met
dying in the end.
like the Mystique made Nimrod symbol. And then before the final battle, I said, wait, Storm just died. I was like, wait a minute, Wolverine just drowned.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wolverine, right?
Yeah, in Days of Future Past. I mean, but you know, Wolverine always comes back to life.
He always comes back.
Like, that's why Days of Future Past is one of my favorite movies. Cause like, and that's kind of what separated the Fox films from the MCU. Because you rarely see an MCU film where your heroes are in danger.
Yeah.
It's like Iron Man 3. I was like, okay, Iron Man's gonna be fine. I was like, he's gonna have a rough go at it, but he'll be fine.
He'd be alright.
Yeah, they never
Then
told
Infinity
you
War
that.
happened, and people were dying. Gamora died. Heimdall died. Loki died.
Why are you
And-
talking about that?
If you were following my train of
You're
thought,
following
you'd
your
know
train of
why.
All right, people are dying.
I'd be like,
wasn't
yeah.
It
But
was
anyway.
more to his train of thought.
She unavoided the train of thought a while ago.
Exactly.
You interrupt
You wanna hop back on?
The train of
Video.
thought, you hop on it.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
But as I said, that makes Invincible that much more like it leaves you like on the edge of your seat, especially the way both sets of Guardians of the Globe were like this close to like being obliterated and splattered.
Yeah.
So Big Little Sis, let's go to you first. What is your grade for this episode?
Well, wait, because what's his name can bring him back to life as long as their brain's still functioning.
Right. Oh, we forgot all about. I'm gonna say Hank Hill. Donald. We learned the fate of Donald. Sauce boy, you wanna?
Alright. So, let me make this very clear.
Donald.
Donald.
Talk about Marvin too. Just want to add that in there.
Alan.
Who's Marvin?
Alan.
Alan.
We're gonna get
There
to
you go.
Alan. We are definitely gonna get to Alan.
Yes.
But Donald, let me make this very clear. Donald is a cyborg. He's not an android. He is a cyborg.
Right.
Yes, it is only his brain that is intact, but that still makes him a cyborg.
Well, actually, he's in an android body.
Well, he's in an android body, yes, but because he has organic material that is piloting said android parts, that makes him a cyborg.
Right. So, and he said that Nolan's body helped deflect the blast that obliterated
The
the
rest
house.
of them.
And so, as long as his brain was intact, he was almost like Metallo,
Mhm.
you know, the Superman villain. His brain's intact, nothing else. Right?
Mhm.
So, at the very tail end, the mid-credit scene, we see an eye open, looking left and right. And we hear Seth Rogen's voice saying, "How'd I get here? What happened? I'm sure that I died." And then, Sim Duncan, you want to tell us about the leader of the Coalition of Planets?
Yeah. So, the leader of the Coalition of Planets unplugged Alan's life support because he was taking a chance here. Basically, he explained to Alan, he said you would either completely die or you would get stronger. Which he did.
He beefed up.
He apologized for gambling with his life, but he knew that was the last chance he had. So he did it. And just left it to fate. And fate was in his favor. So Alan came back bigger, stronger.
Very much bigger.
Probably faster too. Also, it also turns out that what's his title?
I don't remember.
Doesn't matter. It turns out that Peter Cullen,
right,
is a Viltrumite.
That's the voice actor's name.
Right.
He ripped the beard off.
He ripped the beard off, and it turns out he was a Viltrumite the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So he isn't the only Viltrumite trying to stop the Viltrumites.
Right, he said he was the only Viltrumite that successfully rebelled against the Empire.
Yeah, he's the only one.
And he said that Alan needs to get to Earth and get Invincible because Invincible is instrumental in stopping the war and the invasion of the Viltrumite Empire.
Yeah.
Right.
So 3 cliffhangers in one episode.
Yeah, how do you even do that? You go 3 for 3?
Yeah.
Like, you just know how to write.
Rex almost dies.
Yeah.
Right.
The Guardians in space almost get crushed. And Alan's awake again.
Right.
And he's back and better than ever.
And I know Mark didn't want to like leave again because he said like
He just got back.
exactly, and he told his mom Debbie. He said, "Where's Dad's stuff?" And Debbie said, "Oh, I got rid of some of it. You were gone for 2 months." He said, "Dad told me to read the books," and that's something that Simdog Millionaire brought up.
Yeah.
That there might be a key to stopping the Viltrumites
Within those books.
within Nolan's novel.
Read my books, Mark.
Right. Read my books. All right. So. Big Little Sis. So, before I say that, public service announcement, read your books. So, Big Little Sis, what grade do you give this episode?
Definitely an A+.
A plus. Okay. Sim Dog Millionaire, Sim Duncan, Sim Burton, Sim Hardaway, not the other Sim.
The semi of many names.
Yes.
Yeah.
What is your grade?
A+. I love steaks.
And we're from the home of the cheese steak.
Yeah, I like steaks.
Anyway, Sauce Boy 6 billion.
Whatever.
Yes.
A+, straight 10. This episode was amazing. I can't wait to see the next one.
And my grade is an A plus. I don't know if that's plus for sign language, but I know that's A. A pluses. And I think this is the first A plus that Big Little Sis is giving out. So she was really invested in the episode. I was really invested in the episode. Invincible is that stuff.
Yes.
And if I use different language, you know what I would mean. Right? So hit that like button if you enjoyed our repartee about this episode. If you just love Invincible, leave a comment in the comment section or dissertation if necessary. David Brent, please let them know where those comments go, sir. Thank you, Mr. Brent. Do your part. I'll do my part. Sim Duncan will do his part. Big Little Sis will do her part. Sauce Boy 6 billion will do his part. So that the Great Expanse by John Bat 426 can and will expand. It's in the name.